Hello everyone and welcome to Quality Simplified. This is Milind, your friend in quality, sharing with you his understanding about conceptual quality and its benefits in life, be it personal, public or professional life. We have so far uploaded 16 videos on this channel and I'm sure you must be enjoying all the contents of videos which I have shared with you. In last video, we have seen that how quality is everyone's responsibility. When we have number of people in a chain engaged in an activity which progresses in series and delivers either product or service by the time it reaches last member. Needless to say that expected quality is an integral part of product or service which is delivered at the end as discussed in earlier videos. Each one in this chain is a customer because he either receives something from his preceding member and is a supplier as well because he gives something to a succeeding member. This is except the first and the last member, wherein we can say the first member is only a supplier as he initiates the process, and the last one is an end customer because he does not pass it on to a next person because there is no one next available to him to pass on, and he consumes whatever product that is received or service delivery ends there. There is one beauty in this whole process that the first one, who is only a supplier, could as well be a end customer because he only tells us what is required as a quality and places an order for product or service. So let's proceed with our discussion, understanding what exactly is internal customer all about. Welcome again. Let's proceed with our discussion. Before we proceed, let me share with you that these are purely my thoughts based on my experience in quality for 3 decades. I don't claim that this is the knowledge on quality, and all viewers are free to have their own views on the subject, and I would be too happy to know your views, comments, so that we all can help each other in improving our understanding of conceptual quality. Also, examples used here are with certain assumptions for the sake of ease of explanation. I request viewers to please keep this in mind while watching this video. Let's remember the 3 action points for delivering good quality to our customer before we start any video. The first one being know or identify your target customer, understand their requirements, preferably in advance, and if you are able to get it directly from customer, that would be a best possible scenario. And the third one being strive to satisfy these known requirements. These are 3 elements which need action while delivering good quality, and I suggest you must remember and practice them so that they become a way of life for you, so that there is no stress while delivering quality. Now coming to the subject, the image shows number of people engaged in an activity of delivering either product or service by the time it reaches last member. Each of them have defined activity to be done on an object or information they receive from a preceding member. Complete the assigned task and pass it on to next member, who could be their internal customer or it could be an end customer as well. The same font color used will help you to know which is a supplier and customer pair. In the image, we can find 4 internal customers who are suppliers as well internally within the chain. The first member is only supplier who initiates the action. He could be a customer also, as mentioned before. Most of the times, customer only initiates this action by placing a request for product or service with requirements. Similarly, The last member is an end customer and not an internal customer, as he does not pass on it to anyone else further, but uses or consumes the product, or the service delivery ends at his point. Few of the customers here are called as internal customers because they will not get any fully finished product ready to use. What they receive is a product which is still getting made, that is work in progress, and this internal customer is supposed to add a further value on whatever he receives and pass it on to a next member. The value addition which each internal customer is supposed to do is predefined, established, at least in professional world. In personal world, these are predefined and proven, but not formally. Also, in most of the cases, they are not documented. Let's understand the difference through one example in each world. Let's take an example from personal world first. Consider we have to prepare a salad for some party preparation, and we consider few steps in salad making process. The first internal supplier will buy vegetables and hand it over to a next internal customer for cutting it in required sizes and shapes. Now, what is generally not formally laid down is which vegetable, how fresh, and many more things. This will be informally agreed, understood within the team, as mentioned in the red font. Second member, who is an internal customer of the first member, will receive the vegetables, cut it, and hand it over to a next customer for mixing. Generally, how to cut, which size, what shape will not be formally laid down. It will be understood informally, which at times leads to undesired quality levels. Parallelly, one more supplier gets in with additives like salt, chili powder, and some more spice preparations. Here, we generally do not mention, for example, how hot the chili powder would be. Too hot, medium hot, or less hot. Its intensity we are talking about. Same thing can happen with salt, whether it is more salty, less salty. This is again informally understood. Next, it goes for mixing, which also generally does not say in what proportion and how homogeneous that mixing is expected. This is generally not documented. Last stage being presenting it to a customer for consumption in most attractive way. Which design pattern is the best is generally left to a person who handles this activity. This is how, though internal customer supplier relationship is very clear, but their activity is not very clearly defined as shown in red font above in personal life. Now let's have a look at what happens in professional or public life. If we have to take an example closer to public or professional life to understand the internal and end customer concept, let's take an example of game of cricket being played. Let's consider a team engaged in bowling and fielding, and few important roles like skipper or a captain, which we call as bowler, fielder or wicket keeper, and batsman. Here, batsman is not part of this team, but is a part of the opposite side of a team. Here, this team is itself an end customer of themselves, as it is playing to win the match for themselves. The main members of the chain here are skipper, who hands over the ball to bowler for bowling with fairly clear instructions of what is expected. Bowler receives it from skipper with a clear understanding of what is expected and throws the delivery with two possible internal customers next to him. The first one is a fielder. Now if Batman hits it, then fielder should catch the ball before it touches the ground first to get him out or prevent too many runs getting accumulated or try getting the batsman run out. The second internal customer could be a wicketkeeper. If batsman misses the ball, then wicketkeeper should try getting him stumped if he is out of crease line and prevent the addition of runs. The dual role of any member as an internal customer or a supplier are narrated in different font colors. Here, the expected action from each internal customer is more defined, which may get deviated as this is a game filled with uncertainties. In professional world, the activities are far more tightly defined and any measure in compliance by any member is very unlikely. So friends, these are the two examples. I'm sure you are very clear about how internal customers exist in personal, professional or public world, and we also meet them every moment in day-to-day life. Please think over it and try to internalize the concept. If you have a different view, please let me know through comments. So before we close, thanks for listening to me till end. I'm very sure now that you are very clear about how internal customer concept exists in our day-to-day life in all three worlds, public, personal and professional world. If you like this session, please subscribe to this channel and like this video. Recommend others to subscribe, watch and like. Also, please let me know if the knowledge, information shared is helping you, and if you need any specific input, please let me know through comments so that I can add them in future videos. So friends, with this, let's meet in next session where we'll go one more step ahead in our journey of understanding conceptual quality. Till then, goodbye.